My name is John Disho Njunge. I am visually impaired. I am 26 years of age. Born in 1995, July tarehe 5. Marital status, I am single. And I live in Thika Makongeni. Yes. I've been blind since 2004. That is where my issue began, whereby I had cataract issues, and I overwent almost 7 surgeries, which one of them was done cornea transplant in 2010. So when it was done, it was tried to be corrected, lakini it didn't make. So I currently live as a visually impaired person in the community of our country, Kenya. Yes. Okay, so I started my primary level. When I started my primary level in 1998, around there, I schooled in regular primary because my eye issue did not begin immediately. So I schooled in primary 2000 from 1998 to 2002. Then I went to higher primary, that is class 1 to 8, in a school called Olerai Primary School. It was just a regular school in Kajiado County, Kajiado North, which is Ongata Rongai. So let me just go back a little bit. I have siblings, 3 sisters, a mother and a father, who are all not having any issue with the disability. Yeah, so they're the ones who raised me up and took me to school. So when I started my primary school, it was just regular. I schooled as a regular person. Finished my class 8 in 2010. That is when now I did my last surgery of the right eye that was replaced the cornea. Then I entered high school. Some of the challenges that I went through in primary school, when I began now having the issues of the eyes, you could find me, that was around class 4, 5, that was in 2000, 2006 or 2007. I couldn't read the blackboard quite well. I used to strain a lot. There's even a time I was almost knocked by a boda because of my vision that was deteriorating. Also, there's also a time I was almost hit by our own school bus. I was actually crossing. Then it just by God's grace, the driver aliniona before. So the issues was reading. I couldn't read well. My performance began going down because the school, I was the first person in a regular school mwenye kona hiyo issue. So it was quite a new challenge for the teachers, the administration. But I managed to pull through despite the situation. And I used to use magnifying glasses at that time. Yeah. So I finished high school. I finished primary well. Then I transited to high school. But now this is where the journey began because I started high school in 2011. My eyes were still a little bit of, they still had, zilikuwa na sight kiasi, so nilikuwa naweza kusoma na kuona a little bit better. So nikaingia hii shule inaitwa St. Christopher's Secondary. Ilikuwa na very good headmistress actually. Alini embrace and they tried to help me as much as possible to try and learn there. But 2011, 2012, macho ikaanza kuzidi kuwa mbaya. So 2013, unfortunately huyo principal alichangiwa, ikaingia mwingine mpya. So this new principal I think, I don't know what was his feeling, but he didn't want me there. So I had to be sent to a special institution 2013. That time nilikuwa form 3. Nilikuwa nimefika form 3. So kufika form 3 ikabidi niende nisome braille. This is a textile for visually impaired. So that whole year I was promised to go back to that same school. Unfortunately, I was rejected because they gave excuse of they could not cater a person with visual impairment. That was a new principle. So I felt discriminated because why are you not catering for me? And I am also as human as any other person. So I accepted my situation and I went now to Thika High School for the Blind. Now, when I reached Thika High School for the Blind, I had to start again from Form 3. I was going to Form 3 to Form 4 the next year, the same 2014, when I was to finish high school. Now you're going back to that school, unaambiwa you have to start afresh from Form 1. There is no compromise about it. So this disheartened my heart and my esteem. But my parents were always there and they encouraged and told me, you know what, life is not the end, so just pull through na rudi tu, anza tu square one utamaliza. So now you're entering high school ukiwa 18 years and your fellow classmates wanamalizia. I entered your high school, Thika High School for the Blind 2014. Sasa hapo nikaanza sasa kuadapt pole pole, and I began now a group that was dealing with entertainment, drama. So in high school I used to create plays na tunafanya drama a little bit na wenzetu. So I was a director, I was script writer, so and also playing part of the actings a bit. So high school nikaendelea hadi 2017 nikamalizia 2017. High school niliingia nikaanza, I think it's because of my voice, because mimi nilikuwa nimebreak voice sana. So I became popular because of my voice. And we were relating very well because it was just a special school. So it was just visually impaired and some bit of people who we call sighted. Yeah. So we were relating well. But sasa hiyo high school tukiwa Form 1, there was a bit of bullying. Yeah. Although we don't expect visually impaired schools to have bullying, but ilikuwa. So unapata saa zingine unavunjiwa nini box yako. So you have to keep on checking. But tuli pull through, tukasoma braille. Although braille books are very bulky, I always expect mtu anasoma set books. You have almost 8 volumes. So there was a bit of challenge, but tuli pull through, yeah. So 2017 nikamaliza high school. Nikaenda hii institution inaitwa Kenya Society for the Blind. Nikasoma a bit of computer, although I had known computer before because of my parents. Nikasoma hiyo inaitwa adapted computer, where we use screen readers for our computers, our phones. So you have a new set of language for you to understand as a visually impaired mwenye anataka kuingia into technology status. So tukaingia hiyo Kenya Society for the Blind, nikasoma computer for 6 months. Sasa nika enroll Tangaza University. Sasa hapo ndo I was also the first visually impaired person kuingia Tangaza, na kwanza waanze sasa kujua on how to handle people with visual impairment. So mimi nilienda nikaingia administration, nilikuwa nasoma counseling psychology. Nikaongea na administration Nikawambia I can still learn as normal as with the other students. All you have to do is just give me soft copy and I'll be able to read notes from my laptop without any struggles. So nikasoma hiyo mwaka 2019 2020 na nikamaliza. So I was doing a diploma in counseling psychology, nikamaliza 2021 huko. Yes. So that is my university life. Although also I need to give a point, I was a student leader huko. I was elected as student leader. So I've been able to enroll students in the Tangaza University who are visually impaired and they wish to pursue different courses. I was attending classes as normal as the other students, whereby I come to class as normal 8 o'clock. We attend classes. So what I used to advise lecturers, because I also used to advise them, is basically once you have someone like me, basically don't write on the board. And if you're writing, give me notes before. As you're continuing, I'm also listening to the notes itself as the screen reader reads. So, and also describing, you have to describe. If it's an image, make sure you cater for me to understand what image it is. Yes, so exams also, I used to do in soft copy. And I send it either via email or I put it on in a flash disk. Then the lecturers mark. So that is how I used to adapt to the system. Before I shifted to Thika, because I live in Thika Makongeni, I used to live in Kiserian, that is beyond Rongai. So I used to stay at my parents' home. So sometimes ananipatia fare. You know, now the good thing with me, I would say personally, me, is that I'm able to capture barabara in my head. In that, najua nikifika place fulani kuna landmark fulani, nimefika Catholic University stage. So I'm able to, siwezi potea, hata iwe aje, siwezi potea. Nikipitisha ndajua umenipitisha. So napatiwa bus fare, hiyo pesa ya matatu, na nilikuwa najua pesa. So nikishika hivi pesa nakwambia, okay, umenipea pesa ngapi. Hii ni 10 bob, naiona, tunajuanga hivi, juu hizi lines. Sawa. Hii ni 50, tunashikanga, unaona size. So ukishika hivi utajua, hii ni 50. Hii ingine ni so, because it's bigger than this. So if you want to know, you'll know. This is so. Sorry. In the it's bigger than this. So if you want to know, this is 50, this is 100, then this is 1,000, because it's bigger, it's very long. So tunajuanga na size mostly. So I used to divide na make sure nimetoka mapema. Kama class ni 8, by 7 nimetoka home, and I used to keep time. So sijai chelewa. I'm always time conscious, especially when it comes to my personal life. Yeah. So nikamaliza uni. Kumaliza uni, hiyo course si mbaya, counseling psychology. Nikajaribu kwenda medical, hizi level 5. Nilipelekwa nini ya our psychology, wakuna psychological issues. So basically what happens in psychology, nakanga na mtu vile nimekaa hapa, na mwenye na counsel amekaa hapo. So there are steps of therapy that you have to follow. The challenge now with the counseling part of it for visual impairment is that you have to look at facial expression. Because mtu akikuja nyamaze, hautajua kenya nafikiria, hautajua kama analia or something. Although there's a way you can know, unless sasa analia ile silently. So mimi nikaona Mi passion yangu inanisukuma kwa entertainment, because before nikiwa high school na primo, virtual DJ ilikuwa imeanza. So it was virtual DJ 6, 4, 7. Nikaanza kujitrain na hizo when I was a little bit sing. So vile nilitoka high school, mimi nikaambia mabesi, unajua nini? Mimi lazima ni pursue DJ. Mabesi nao kawaida yao wakakudiscourage, wakaniambia Jonte, hauwezi. Hakuna DJ blind, hata utaona aje machine. Nikawaambia mimi lazima nitapursue. Whether mpende msipende, I'll have to pursue. So mi kumaliza kole nikapata hiyo opportunity since nilikuwa na lapi. Nikaandikia virtual DJ email. Nikaambia I want to be a blind DJ. I wish to pursue DJing. And is it possible watengeneze software speech yenye itasoma interface ya virtual DJ? So these guys they got back to me. Hawakuchelewa. So within 6 months walikuwa get back. Wakaniambia try out this software tuone. So fortunately it work. And that is how I started now pursuing DJing. Because me DJ sijaenda shule. Nimejaribu kwenda shule zenye zina train, wanasema wajui kutrain mtu haoni hawawezi. So hapo ndo nilianza struggles. Katafuta pesa, nikanunua kama machine kadogo kanaitwa DJ 400. So hiyo ndo nilianza nayo kujitrain pole pole until I mastered the art of DJing. So currently sai natumia Serato DJ SR2. DJing nilichukua almost 1 year to learn, because I had to learn, although I used to inquire from most of my friend DJs, what is this, nasikia hii, cue points, beat matching. I had to learn everything. So you know what happens in mtu anaona anaangalia screen. When you look at the screen, there are waves on the interface ya hiyo software unatumia. That is how now you learn on how to beat match, because you have to be really timely. But now this is a situation mahali mimi sioni, I can't look at the screen, hata nitake aje siwezi. So I have to learn on how naweza hii ngoma nitaingiza aje ndio isigongane in terms of beats. Nijue how will I cue. Hadi queuing is the most difficult thing in a DJ as I learn, because queuing you have to be perfect at it, because usipokiu vizuri hizo ngoma hazita beat match. So I started learning pole. I look at YouTube, also YouTube imenisaidia. I look at it, I listen. I don't even see what they do, but I listen and understand. So hapo ndo nilianza na right now niko perfect na at it. So what I said before is the laptop has something called screen reader. It's a voice command yenye inasoma screen ya lapi. Kama ni start menu itasema start menu. Kama ni Google Chrome, it will pronounce back with the voice. So what we do as visually impaired, tunatumia keyboard, hatutumii mouse. So you have to learn the keyboard, because also nimefunza computer. I've also trained some bit of computer kwa to blind. So you learn the computer basics, the keyboard basics, tab, control. So unazimaster kwa akili. So nikienda kwa website ni search YouTube, I'm able to search using that speech command. Yeah, speech output, inaitwa speech output. Now live DJing inanisaidia kulipa bills, because that's my main occupation so far. Inanisaidia pia at least kumotivate the visually impaired, ama mtu akona disability, ama hata mtu tu kawaida. Unajua akiona mtu blind anacheza Like there's a club I play in Karen, it's called Karen Hunters. This club, mi huenda nacheza. You find nikiingia, people don't expect, okay, this is a blind guy, okay, amekuja kudu. So, nikiingia tu hivi, niekelee machine na nianze kucheza, they get excited, you know. It's a motivational kind of thing. Yenye, hata mtu wa kawaida anaona yenyewe, if this guy can do this and haoni hana macho, haoni, then what's the point of me kushinda kwenda kuomba kwa streets? Unaona? So it's business and also it's a motivational thing. Currently na train, there's somewhere I'm training. If they're visually impaired ama mtu wote tu anataka kutrainiwa, na train huko Kenya Society for the Blind. And also nimecheza events. I'm also doing events. Niko na sound equipments. So if people want hire in sound equipments, we also do sound equipments hiring. I also do training of acting, especially for the visually impaired, but also the sighted are welcomed. So yeah, hivyo ndo tunafanya. And I've played different events kama Serena, nimecheza Serena, nimecheza Hot 96 reggae, nikacheza some events za kampuni kama inaitwa Hiu. Yeah, so I've done a bit of events, but I'm hoping for more. Basically how I manage my daily life activities is kama kwa nyumba. Let me just give you an example of where I live. Mi hujua barabara, as I said, I use landmarks to master my road. So kwa nyumba I also set up things vile zinafaa zikuwe. So ukikuja change utakuwa umedisorient, but with time nitashika. So kama ni kupika mi hupika, kama ni kuosha nguo mi huosha, kama ni kuosha nyumba. I do basically everything that any other person can do. Yeah. Kama ni kupanda mat na pandanga vizuri, nafika tao. Sasa issue ya tao ni moja, you have to really learn hiyo barabara ya tao, because utapata magari nyingi, watu wengi. So by the time you adapt tao, ita take time. But mi maneuver peke yangu, sijai ati tafuta guide ni pelekwe mahali. Yeah. Unless when necessary. Yeah. So sometimes I do some business, napata nimetumwa mahali nipeleke kitu fulani ama naendea kitu fulani. So na maneuver tu. Now the society has different type of people. There are those who wanaonanga huyu ni mlemavu, kazi ni kuomba. Because also I always say pia shida ni sisi. Because ukiweka hiyo mentality mtu unaomba, like in Thika, utapata naenda place, mimi nimeenda kukula, mtu anakuambia huku hatupeani, unamuuza hatupeani nini? Hatuna pesa ya kupeana. Niko like okay, mimi sijakuja kuomba, mimi nimekuja kukula, na ukitaka na naweza kubaia extra. So hiyo mentality make society think, you know, what you give the society is what you receive back. That's what I always say. So, and also there are some people wenye wanaona pia mlemavu ni kutengeneza pesa kwake. Cause nimepata incidents whereby naenda tuseme event, mtu ananiunganishia event, naenda napatiwa 5,000, na sasa event nilikuwa nilipwe 30k. Hiyo 15 imekulwa na mwenye ameorganize. Ama na saa zingine naenda event, naenda kama show, interview, instead mtu hata provide fare ya kurudi, yeye amekuja akatengeneza brand, akaenda. So he makes money from me. The outside society, achana na persons with disability, treat us kawaida tu. Mimi nikikuja kuitisha kazi, seme a gig or something, ama hata kama ni TV station or radio, nipatie hata kama ni internship, you see, can you do it? You know, don't just brush me off. Because nimepata hiyo brushing off sana. Unapata naenda naulizia kazi yenyewe I'm qualified, lakini hata hiyo tu kujaribu sipatiwi. So the outside society wenye mtawachisho manze, if there are people who you can embrace na kufanyia kazi ni watu kama sisi, because we know how hard it is hata kupata hiyo 20 bob ni ngumu. Yeah, so that is what I can tell them. Na watu wangu wa disability, let me come to you manze, tuache kuomba. Kuomba si solution. Tumia talanta kama uko na talanta. You will never miss something to do. Hata kama ni biashara, anza ya kuuza switi. Just do something. Let's not, tusiitwe mabeggars, because hivyo ndo watu wanasemanga, si ni waombaji. Tusiwe hivyo. Yeah. Pengine tuombe, sasa tuombe Mungu atusaidie. But Mungu hawezi kusaidia kama wewe mwenyewe hata hujajaribu, hujatry. So that is my advice. Yeah. Yeah, niaje. Mimi naitwa DJ Kings. Utanipata Facebook DJ Kings. Instagram utapata Blind Mix Masters. Twitter Blind Mix Masters. Na namba ya simu ni 0704 893336. Find me there every day. You will be entertained.